Around 2,000 years ago, a man named Jesus started a movement in Israel. He told his followers that he was God, and he told them to tell everybody that he had brought God's kingdom to earth to save the human race from its problems. He then took off into heaven. His followers hit the streets and spoke to everyone about the things that they had seen and heard. Every day, more and more people joined their movement. Before long, the number of followers reached hundreds and thousands. They started meeting together as groups and began to organize themselves. This was called church. The groups grew and local churches popped up all over the place. About 300 years later, a ruler named Constantine rose to the throne of Rome and was converted. He declared it a Christian empire. Over the next 10 centuries, the church spread around the world, and at the start of the 16th century, a man named Martin Luther found a better way to do church and tell the message of Christ. He started a thing called the Reformation. He got ordinary Christians reading their Bibles and getting to know God better for themselves. 500 years later, a man named Derek heard the story about Jesus in a church. He liked what he heard and decided to follow him. He was very excited about the good news. A week later, he saw his neighbor Phil attending to his yard. Derek thought it a good time to tell Phil the message of Jesus. So he walked over and gave him a tract. It had a picture of the cross on the front, hell on the back, and lots of fire in the middle. The next morning, Derek called Pastor Max for advice. Max immediately thought of Crossover. They'd been doing research and gathering great minds to work out relevant ways to help people tell their story about following Jesus. Crossover had published information about changes in the way people think and relate in the 21st century. They talked about the need to present Jesus in ways that connect with issues people face today, rather than several decades ago. They also told stories of different things churches were doing to connect with friends and neighbors, and how every Christian is like a missionary where they live and work. Pastor Max had been encouraged by Crossover's input. They'd put resources in his hands and ideas in his head that helped him to help his congregation understand the mission of the church. He also liked the sound of new technologically savvy communication resources they were producing. Pastor Max then called Derek. They talked together about the best way to go about communicating the message of Jesus. Derek now felt much more equipped to talk with Phil about his faith. He felt better informed and encouraged. Derek decided that bringing over a coffee to Phil would be a great start. They chatted for hours about this and that and would do so every Saturday afternoon. About 6 months later, Phil agreed to come with Derek to a special course that explained the meaning of Christianity. A few months later, Phil decided to become a follower of Jesus too. His whole family is being changed. Easter is a time to celebrate what's at the heart of our faith as followers of Christ and to evaluate how effectively we are sharing what Jesus has done for us. Crossover is relentlessly dedicated to this cause. But the reality is that Crossover cannot exist without people like you making a contribution to fund its work. Please be generous in your donation to the Crossover Good Friday Appeal this year. We really value your help. Crossover, a passionate commitment to evangelism.